The podcast mamas are back. It's been a while, but we're here and with our favorite guitarist, Ryan.
It's time for bed, oh, it's time for you. Mom and Dad says what you gotta do. We don't care if you ain't tired. Take it from the one whom you so admired. It's bedtime for Ella Missy. Don't you cry or go and hiss it. No more games and no running around, 'cause we don't wanna hear another sound. Just take your bell and get tucked in and don't make us swear again and again and again.
Welcome back to the show. It's the podcast Mamas Navigating Life with Laughter in a Special Needs World. I'm Carly here with the fabulous Miss Laura.
Hello.
How are you doing, Miss Laura?
Much better now that I'm finally not sick anymore.
Yeah, that was a long time. That was a long
Yeah,
time, girl.
it was like a solid 2 weeks, and I would argue there was a third of just trickling out congestion, and I still have a little cough and, that fun stuff.
Yeah, no, I none of that is good when you're trying to be productive and run a business and take care of your clients. I mean, like, hey, it's not that you're
Yep,
just not showing up at work to get office work done. You're actually taking care of people who are counting on you to educate them and enrich their lives. So,
exactly. And especially like right after the new year, you start that new year with all that like drive and motivation, and then like hit a brick wall. So it was annoying, but I'm so grateful. Like the families I work for are so sweet and so patient and so flexible. Um, I had no issues, and I'm, working hard to make up all those hours that I missed. So it's all going to be okay, but it's just annoying when that stuff happens.
oh my gosh, absolutely. And I mean, I didn't expect it. I was hopeful, but here is our co-host, Ella's fairy godmother, Nicole, has made it onto the Zoom as well. So we've got a healthy Miss Laura and we've got Nicole back. Welcome, Nick.
I'm so sorry. I'm just jumping on. I had a technical difficulty.
Oh, good. We are so happy you're here. And I got to tell you, I don't know if you were on last time when Chad did this thing with my computer so that I have a very large screen, like a large monitor over here. So it makes it easier to work. But the camera is not transferring. So I'm honestly looking at my screensaver right now in order to look at you guys. Just,
Hey, well, great. It looks great.
yeah, yeah. So I'm a little behind the ball today, trying to catch up for a week of shenanigans at the golf tournament.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it was very unexpected, but Jordan's mom wanted to treat me to some fun debauchery a couple days last week, and then also took
Aw.
me to the Luke Bryan concert as a thank
Oh,
you.
wow.
Wow.
I know. She was such a sweetie pie. She wanted to really thank me for giving her a hand on and hooking her up with the life that she didn't realize she was missing.
Yeah, that's huge. I'm sure you gave her a whole new, like completely opened her eyes, gave her a whole new way to
Freedom.
look at things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's not just freedom, folks, right? Like the caregiver goes where the mom can't go. And
right.
I say that like in the example of I wouldn't like to take Ella to a festival, or I wouldn't like to always take Ella grocery shopping or even clothing shopping because she might get mean. She might want to walk off, and then we've got to argue about what we're not buying, and then she might have an accident. So,
Right.
even though Ella is super social and she's got those moments of making life so fun and enjoyable, she
Yep.
creates very dark moments at times. So,
Yeah. Well, I would
Well, everyone,
argue it's that unknown, right? It's that
yeah,
unknown piece for all of us. Like even as the caregiver who's happy to give the parent a break, like there are days where like because my clients love it when I take the kids on errands and stuff, right? But same thing for me. Like some days I have the energy to be like, all right, if we're going to have a meltdown in the middle of Target, I can handle this today. Not a big deal. And then there are other days where I know I'm not going to be able to handle this today. So we're just going to go to the park or we're going to take a walk or we're just going to do something else instead, you know? So it's just like you said, like sometimes the shopping trips are beautiful and perfect and so fun and chill. And then other times they're like a nightmare. And it's just that unknown of like, what's it going to be today? Because it could turn on a dime and you just never know.
Yeah.
Miss Laura, what is the longest amount as a caregiver, longest amount of time you are with a kiddo client person that you're taking care of?
So I generally only it's shifted a lot over the years, right? Like with Ella, I think at one point I was with her like 5 hours. It was like noon to five Wednesday afternoons because she didn't have Panda, I didn't have Panda. Um, and when she was little, like those were fun, but those could also be long afternoons because that was, there's only so much you can do with a 3-year old sometimes. And I wasn't leaving the house with her and
Mhm.
we were just playing and she talks, but it was hard to have a conversation with her. So it's like 5 hours of me kind of having conversations with myself and trying to keep her occupied and happy and safe and
Yeah.
clean and all those things. And Carly was just the best at realizing that and giving me extra little treats and things along the way. And I always loved how she'd race in the house. This is like, I've never forgotten this, Carly, and I've never had a parent do this quite as well as you, but you would always like realize that we were all just this giant team and we were all taking our shifts.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes I would feel like, I felt like other parents struggle to get back on their shift, but you would always like come in the door with all this positive energy and be like, okay, your shift is over, go home. Like you would like kick me out pretty swiftly. And I'd be like, okay, cool. Like sometimes I feel like I need to linger or kind of help support, especially if, the kid's mid meltdown when my shift is over, whatever. And you were always so good about that super hard boundary. Like, nope, you're done. Goodbye.
That's really
Well,
good to know.
people like to keep their babysitters, caretakers,
Mm.
whatever we want to call them, happy and coming back for more.
Yes.
Yes.
A hundred
Yes.
percent. I was
So,
always so, I don't want to say worried because that's such a negative connotation, but I always wanted you to want to come back. Just exactly like
yeah.
you said, Nick. I just wanted, and we had very low turnover in those days that were
Mhm.
long. And so I tried to keep a rotation. We maybe had 2 or 3 providers always coming in, coming out because I didn't want anybody to get too, broken down and beat up like
Yeah, you
me.
did such a great job with that.
Takes a
Oh,
village. It takes a
oh,
It
I'm
village.
so
does. It
happy to hear
does.
that, Miss Laura. And it's a good message for anybody listening in. Parents, when you
Yeah.
walk in, be ready to take over. Let your caregiver have their well-deserved breaks so that they want to come
Yes.
back for their next shift and be respectful of being on time to let them go. I mean, I know I always feel terrible when I have to send a message and say, I am so sorry, I am running late. But
Right.
just as respectful as they are for me, I try to be, that respectful to them and getting
Yeah.
home timely for them.
Well,
Um,
and now in my contracts, I have it so somebody has to be home, which,
oh,
I feel bad about sometimes, but when I've got back-to-back clients, like I haven't created a whole lot of wiggle room. So it's like I gotta go when I gotta go to get to the next person. So yeah, and to answer your question, Nicole, circling back around, nowadays I only spend 2, maybe 3 hours tops with a client at a time. We
okay.
do really, structured short, sweet, and simple sessions so that the client doesn't get, overtired or sick of me. And so that, God forbid, when I do get sick, it's not a huge burden that I'm gone. It's like short little spans of hours that the parents have to figure out how to fill versus like an entire afternoon.
Hmm.
That makes
So
a lot of
That
sense.
makes sense.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think that's smart because it's engagement. Like at the level you're at right now, you're engaging, to teach and, really give them skills and tools. And if they're not
Yep.
going to attend and they've tuned you out, you ain't getting anywhere. And that's a waste of money and time for everybody, right? So,
Exactly. Exactly. And I still, even within shorter sessions, depending on where the kiddo's at that day, we might not get a lot done, or we might have to take a bunch of walks or hit up a playground to refocus and whatever. We're all human. We all have our different days, and it's just trying to meet them where they're at.
yeah, no, I totally agree. Totally agree on that. Miss Ella has been enjoying some more moments with Jordan because now that Hannah has moved on from our family to kind of working with Jordan full time and
Oh, wow.
yeah, and then only seeing Ella on Fridays. So she's got her one
Okay.
day with her, which is nice.
Good.
We've got Lily the rest of the time, which has been great. And
Right.
then Hannah and Lily get together and get Ella and Jordan together, which is really cool. And
Aw.
I know, and I'm sure that it is so helpful for Jordan to just be in that environment, where he can
Mhm.
learn, to reduce his behaviors and how to adjust and adapt to not only being on his, devices, because that's been one of his bigger,
Right.
problems because when you don't have a caregiver or you
Yep.
have a caregiver but not a trained caregiver, like you have a babysitter, right?
Right.
Uh,
Right.
they don't know
So
how.
was Jordan did not have a trained caretaker before working with Hannah?
Correct. Carrie did it all herself. So
Okay. And so then this change just came about recently.
yes.
And
So
then you got someone else. Lily is new to you?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Got
So
it.
um, Hannah is in the middle of her master's program, and part of her program, she needs to do hours where she
Mm-hmm.
practices what she's learning. And Jordan fit the bill for the perfect client for her to work with. And then she has a personal connection, right? Because she knows Jordan through Ella and all of that. So
Got it.
Right.
they worked really hard to get the insurance to cover, a portion of this funding, and so that Jordan would receive these benefits, right? Because Hannah will be getting paid through insurance because of what she is, the style of teaching she is doing with Jordan. And he has not had this, gosh, since he was little. So he may have had a worker with him when he was little, but never a caretaker or caregiver like we've had over the years. And I just kept pushing Carrie, you need to find somebody, you need to sign on with an agency, somebody will pop. And then for us, it was just, I was in the right place, right time, and Lily fell into our laps. And I said to Hannah, it makes sense that we, train Lily to be our person and you go be with Jordan because you can handle Jordan and not a lot of people can because
Mm-hmm.
he's got
And
some,
it's good for him too. I mean, he's somewhat familiar with her.
yes,
Maybe not one on one, but has been kind of in a group setting with her. She's visibly familiar.
yes,
Um, doesn't feel like a stranger, so I'd imagine that's good. And then
yeah,
you've got some fresh blood, so to speak, in your house.
yeah.
So how is Ella dealing with Lily?
There's a little bit of boot camp going on. We're all familiar with me sharing about new caregivers coming in and Ella being nice, but then taking advantage of what they don't know.
Yep.
So, I'll come home and Ella will have had, all of these cookies and snacks and just ridiculous amounts of garbage. And she'll have tried on different outfits and poor Lily will be like, so what can't she have? Or we have to be like, okay, we can't give her everything. Like, for example, they went to the movies the other night. Now, for any kid, regardless of your GI issues or special needs, for any kid, if I'm going to see on the receipt gummies, M&Ms, popcorn, and hot dog, that's too much garbage for anyone.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So, love her, but I have to have that conversation with her. No, we can't do
Yeah.
that anymore.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
Ella had literally liquid bowel movements the whole next day.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I mean, and even Lily shouldn't be eating that. I hate to have that mom voice step in, but I don't know who's eating this, but
Right.
nobody should have had that night. That's terrible. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
we'll have that chat today. But that's what I mean.
Good luck.
I'm sure Ella walked up to the counter and was like, "Oh, I want M&Ms. Oh, I want popcorn."
Yeah, exactly. Of course she did.
Yeah. So yeah, but Lily is so patient and wonderful, and that I am very thankful for. We just
It's
gotta
an
get it.
adjustment period.
It really is. It
Yeah.
really is. I know. I'm anxious for Lily to meet Miss Laura, so Miss Laura can,
I
shed some
know.
influence on her, which would be lovely.
Well, and Hannah's been sharing that Lily is anxious to meet me. So I think next Monday, right at the zoo, we'll be meeting.
Yes, but Miss Laura, what's special about this week coming up? What's special about everyone getting together on Monday?
Whoa, Quaranta.
Yeah. So I have several of I decided, because I have all these makeup shifts to complete now as well. But with Day coming up, it's a perfect opportunity with kids out of school for some of my current and past clients to come together at the zoo for Miss Laura's 40th birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm feeling very old.
No.
When we turned 40, we didn't like saying 40, so we said it in Spanish and just called it Quarenta.
Oh, I love that.
It sounds so much better and something very special. Just it's Quarenta. It's a state of being.
Yeah,
It
Quarenta.
is.
Which,
Oh my gosh, I'm doing
yeah,
that.
there you
Oh
go.
my gosh.
I think that's
That's so perfect.
fantastic.
Thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome.
And Nick, remember I said, "Oh, you're becoming a butterfly when
Yeah,
you
I
turn
was just
40."
gonna say, and Carly, yep. So you are becoming a butterfly and you're gonna just soar. You're just gonna fly around in
That's right.
your
There's so much
Awesome.
quarantaism.
so much growth that happens to us in our 20s and our 30s. So
Mhm.
when we hit
Yep.
40, it's like we get to transform into this beautiful butterfly and share all that we've learned.
Yep.
I do
You're
kind of
gonna
feel
know.
like that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
feel
But the,
you know everything about everything now. You're
Yep.
40. You're
Now we know
right,
quaranta.
that.
right. So
Yeah.
I get to be one of those cool people that just like says whatever comes to their mind now, right?
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Well, when you say it like that, you make it sound like 40s, the new 80, but yeah, because that's what 80-year-olds do. They say whatever comes to their
Yep.
mind. But
Right.
you will definitely feel like I felt like I knew more. Like
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, I'm not making
Well,
that mistake again. Right.
and I guess what
yeah.
I mean is maybe not whatever comes to your mind, but you do get better at using your voice. Like using your voice gets
Yes.
Yeah.
stronger.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's
Yes.
also like a consideration too. Like you have an awareness. Oh, I acted
Right.
like an idiot before because I wasn't aware that you don't do that. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you can be
Yeah.
more respectful, you can be more aware, but you can also, stick up for yourself in a way that maybe you hadn't before because you were a little bit meeker, a little bit younger. And so, yeah, I
Right.
just think that 40 is very transformative. And that's why you're
Cool.
becoming a butterfly, my dear.
Yay. Well, and I'm just, trying to, again, I feel like I bring this up too much, but it is my story and my truth is that I have lost a lot of family members, some at very young ages. So I've been practicing a lot of gratitude and realizing that 40 is such a privilege.
Yeah,
And just really focusing on that piece of it too.
yeah.
So,
Mhm.
That's a really good point. A really good point.
yeah.
Not
Yeah,
everybody gets it.
what is that saying? Don't complain about getting older. It's a privilege denied to many.
It
Yes,
And
is.
it's,
Yeah.
in that same sentiment of just gratitude, like don't complain you're older, you should be happy you're older.
exactly.
Like
Exactly.
it's an achievement. It's something
Yep.
to be
100%.
proud of. So,
Big blessing to
Yeah.
be this age and have done the things we've done, and there's
Yeah.
more to come.
There is. Well, and I'm so excited for this group of kiddos to be together. Some that I'm not sure have really spent a whole lot of time together.
Mhm.
And now at this point, they've almost literally been with me half of my life and have left such massive imprints on my life and in my heart that like I'm probably going to cry the whole afternoon, like happy
No.
tears, because I get so like that's what I do at Disneyland with my client too. Like I just cry the whole time because I'm so happy and he's exuding so much joy. It's like palpable.
Yeah,
And so like when I get to like, really reflect on the fact that half of my life has been with these kiddos that I love so much and have taught me so much and are just becoming such incredible young adults in the world and in their communities. It's like just so extra special. That's what I've loved about special ed is that like you get them for your life. It's not just like
yeah,
1 year and they're gone and you never
Hmm.
see them again and you don't know what they become. It's like it's such an extra special blessing to like have watched this journey and been on it together. Like we're all growing together.
totally.
Oh, I love that.
I know,
So
beautifully stated, Miss Laura. Beautifully stated, and lovely to hear on the parent side of it. That's so
yeah.
wonderful to hear how you've absorbed and cherished the time with one of my
Yeah.
kid being one of yours. So tell
Yeah.
tell us, what does Monday look like? Who's coming? How many kids? Caregivers in addition to your leadership? Who's all going to be there?
Right.
What's this look like?
So this looks like I will be there with the client that I would normally see every Monday.
Okay.
We're going during his regular shift. It might be extended a little longer. Um, and then Miss Amber will be there
Okay.
with one of our friends that Ella knows very well from the dances now, wink, wink. Um, and he's another one that I've had since he was 3, and he'll be 19 in April.
Okay.
And then obviously Ella will be there with Lily.
Yes.
And then I have another kiddo that I also met in Panda that I've worked with on and off throughout the years, who was actually in my class at Kiva
Okay.
from 3rd grade through 5th grade. So that was a full circle moment to go from his
Wow.
aide to his teacher. That was really extra special for me. And then he went off to middle school and then has trickled throughout some private schools until he landed at the lovely one across the street where my other client is.
Oh,
So, and this young man, I think he's gonna be, so again, I met him when he was 3. I think he's gonna be 20 in June.
Oh, wow.
I love this
Yeah.
collection of this similar aged peers being together.
Yes. Yeah. Cause, I spent like 3.5 years, I think, in the Panda classroom. And so they're
Yes.
all kind of, within 3 years of each other.
Yeah.
Um, And yeah, there's another kiddo that, I've got away at college right now that I knew since he was 3 as well in that group. So I'm bummed he won't be there, but I might try and FaceTime him while we're there.
Oh, that's a cute idea.
So
Oh, that
yeah.
would be so fun.
Yeah, because I know he would enjoy going if he was here. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So,
yeah.
and I had another question about the day on the tip of my tongue. Um,
Oh, and my 5-year-old client and his sister are coming too.
oh, nice.
So
Okay. So
so yeah.
you'll have Amber and you'll have Lily as extra caregivers there.
Yeah, and I'm sure people will be coming with the other kids too.
Got it.
So,
Like
yeah.
parents or something.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool, cool. I would join you, but the zoo's not my happy place.
Oh, I get that. It's not, I really loved the Cleveland Zoo growing up, and they
Yeah.
have a whole rainforest thing that was very cool. I have never resonated with the Phoenix Zoo, but I just thought
Oh,
it's
I agree.
outdoors, it's good walking, it's just
Yes.
something a little different. It gives us like a focus point.
Hmm.
Yes.
So,
No, and,
yeah.
and Lily and Ella will be great there together as long as they can find all the bathrooms if needed.
Yes, and there's one right up front we'll be stopping at before we go in because,
Okay.
Miss Laura drinks a lot of fluids herself these days. So I need to frequent the bathroom at the zoo quite often when I go.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. Wonderful to hear. And so then what are you doing outside of this Monday celebration for your 40th?
Um, I don't really know a whole lot. Josh asked me for a list like 3 weeks ago, and I know there's going to be like board games and possibly going out dancing Friday night with some of our friends. But for the most part, he's been very secretive, very adorable about it. He's like, I don't know, but you're busy from like 2 p.m. on that day. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, I love
So,
that. Oh, way to go,
yeah,
Josh. Way to go,
I
Josh.
know.
Yay, Josh.
I know. I'm super thankful. He's not a birthday person, so this is a really big deal. So,
That's so nice. That
yeah.
is so nice. He's stepping up and taking care of his girl.
Oh, that's
Yep.
so sweet.
Yeah. So I warned all the kids. I said, you're not going to recognize me, although they are because it's up. But Miss Laura went and got her hair done this weekend. I got my nails done for the first time in years.
Oh,
So
see,
I really,
transformative.
yep,
Huh?
exactly. Pampered myself for sure. It was
Love
nice.
that.
I know.
So.
I agree. I agree. So the show's going to end here shortly, but anything new for you to share, Miss Laura? Things to look forward to coming up? Anything that you've got planned or in the works?
I do still want to look into the baseball game that we did last year because I thought that was super fun. I
Yes,
just
but
being
spring break
sick
is
and trying
coming.
to play. Exactly. Yeah. Between being sick and trying to catch up on all this stuff, I haven't even looked into it yet. So I'm glad we're getting the zoo in there. If we could do like one group thing a month, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I was going to look into, yeah, either like the half day, because I think we went on a half day last year.
Yes, it
So
was
I'm
like
going
a
to look into like,
Wednesday.
yeah, I'm going to look into the half days and or spring break. I just feel like a lot of people travel on spring break, so sometimes it's actually harder to do group events during that time.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, but I do like to try for the families that are here to give them, something extra to do. So that's why I'm like, and I love those baseball games. So that's why I'm like, I'll go twice. I don't care,
Oh, yeah. Oh, my
know?
gosh.
Because
Absolutely.
I think it's only like $10 to sit on the lawn or something. It's not expensive at all.
That's
So,
great. That's
um,
great.
yeah. And, the weather has been so gorgeous lately. So,
I know. And there's lots to see. Even if you can't sit still on the grass, you can walk around and look at all the stuff.
no, we take breaks. Like you know me, I've got a written schedule. We're gonna sit here for like 15 minutes, set a timer, and then we're gonna do a lap. And
I
then
love
we
it.
come back and sit another 15, 20, and then it's snack time. And then we sit or lap, or I love the one over here at Talking Stick because they've got that mini baseball diamond that I had all the kids
Yes.
practice batting on and running the bases last year. That
Yes.
was so fun.
That's so great.
Ella's always the one cheering everyone on and making them all bat, but when it's her turn to bat on the bases, not so much.
I know. Well, I keep hearing this about Ella. She's so great at cheering for everybody else
Yep,
when it
yep,
comes to
yep,
all the things. But when she has to
yep,
actually do it herself, nope.
yep, yep, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's been a piece of work. Did everybody see on Ella's Instagram how she told her teacher to leave the classroom?
No, I did
Oh,
not.
I can't believe we're just talking about that now.
I know.
That might have been one of the funniest things I've ever read in my entire life.
I know. I miss her teacher sent me a message and said, two rainbow bunnies need to go on the shelf. They need to be taken away. She
Well, that's
would not
serious.
wash her hands after snack. And then she told me to leave my classroom.
This is in an email, by the way.
Oh my
She's
gosh,
told me to leave.
Ella.
I mean, I shouldn't be laughing at the disrespect, but it's funny. I'm sorry. That's funny to me.
Oh my gosh.
That's typical teenager,
It's
That's
just
why.
Special
funny.
needs teenager, and they don't give a shit, by the
Right.
way.
Yeah, they don't. That's great,
Because
right?
any other teenager is probably always thinking it, but they don't
Right.
say it.
Yeah.
Oh, I think plenty of them do. I think
Right.
maybe not their teacher, but definitely like parents or
Oh
siblings or
yeah.
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, there were, trust me, I saw loads of disrespect in my high school years.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. They just ended up in the principal's office where Ella gets bunnies taken away.
Yes, yes,
So,
exactly.
well,
Yeah.
I think that was a good one to end on.
I love it.
Sure.
Leave the
Right?
classroom.
Right?
Go away.
Because
Bye bye.
remember, we've got to be thankful for all these funny moments, friends, because they help
Yes.
us get through the moments that really suck.
Yep.
So, with that, we are going to shut it down and have our favorite guitarist close up the show, remembering that a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles, right, Nicole?
Yes, take a couple minutes every day to reflect on what you're grateful for because there's always so much when you stop and think about it.
Always something, everyone. Thanks for listening. Until next time.
And thank you, Miss Laura.
And thank
Oh,
you, Miss
thank you.
Laura. Podcast Mama's out.